everyone, it's Kathy here from Bello's Designs, and today I'm going to be recreating a scene similar to this one. This is actually in a photo frame. I really liked these flowers together. I actually created them first of all in one of my journal pages, and I liked the colours and how they blended, and so I thought, well, that would look nice in a frame. So I made another one with a border frame and thought that would be quite a good thing to do. So we're going to do this today. The actual piece of card I'm working on is 6 by 8 because that's the size of my frame, the inner of my frame, but I'm going to have a border around the way, so the actual work is approximately 5 by 7. So you could make that into a card if you didn't want it in a frame. So for this particular project, you have a piece of Multifarious card cut 6 by 8 for my frame, or whatever size frame you have. I have a stencil, which is the Lavinia Featherleaf stencil. The stamps I used are the LAV 676 Art from the Heart, the LAV 672 Orchard Grass, the LAV 689 Garden Poppies, the LAV 119 Nigella Damascena, the LAV 683 Foliage Set, and I used the one on the left, the Wildflowers LAV 188, the Single Fairy Orchid, which is LAV 548, and the Dandelions 3 LAV 166, and I used the one on the left. For the backgrounds, I used Elements Inks Lime Punch and Blue Lagoon. For the stamping, I used Versafine Clair Nocturne and Fantasia. I have this Sweet Poppy Low Tack stencil tape to make my border. I have a couple of stencil brushes here for the background in the green and blue. For the details on the flowers, I have a black fine pen, a red, a blue and a black Posca, and a blue and a lilac watercolor pen. I also have a white gel pen, and I have a couple of sticklers, and I have Mermaid's Tail and Lavender to do the details on the flowers. So let's get started. Right, I'm beginning to start with a piece of card and the tape. So I'm going to tape around the edges. Excuse me if my head gets in the way, because I have to see what I'm getting right. There we go. And the bottom. This is a really good tape. It never peels the card when you take it off. It's really, really good. Now, once the tape's all on, I just literally run my finger all around the inside to make sure no ink bleeds through the borders. Okay, and then I'm going to start with the Elements Lime Punch. And as I start blending it, I'm going to start on the stencil tape and work my way in, so the bulk of it, or the darker part of it, will be on the actual stencil tape. So I'm just going to dab it a few times, start on there, and then work my way in, just going in round circles. And now I'm going to use the Blue Lagoon with the stencil. Right, and now I'm going to start with the stamping. So I'm going to begin with the Dandelion 3, and I need the stamp to go to the left. So you have to excuse me, I am actually dyslexic, and I get my lefts and rights a bit confused, so I think it has to go to the right if I want it to go left. That's right. And I'm going to stamp this in Nocturne. And I'm going to start this one about here. Perfect. Now the other one I want to go slightly, only slightly the other way. I'm just going to do a little curve to the left so that it will curve to the right. I'm going to put those stems very close together. Perfect. Give that a little clean, and then I'm going to use the small Nigella Damasca, not Damasca, what's it, Nigella Damascena, and I'm going to ink that one up. I'm going to go right to the bottom, but I don't think I'm going to come up that high. No, I'm going to start there. That's just below the dandelion. That's great. And now I'm going to have the wildflower. And I'm going to do the wildflower in Fantasia. Now this particular stamp, I have to look, because when I first got it, I actually used Stays On stamp ink, and it really badly stained it, so I can't see so well on this one. Just make sure I've got it all covered. That's it. And this one is going to go next to the dandelions, and about there. So I'm going to do one first generation, and then I'm going to lower it slightly and do a second generation right next to it. That's it. And then we're going to move on to the fairy orchid. And again, I want this one to bear right, so I want it to go left. I'm going to do this in Nocturne. This one can just go over the top. That one. There we go. And this one is going to slightly, very slightly, bend the other way. Let's give it a bit of a clean first. Dry it. And this one, I'm going to turn this piece of paper a little bit so I can do this a bit easier. Will be there. Great. So that's that one done. Now I'm going to use the taller Nigella, and that's going to be Nocturne. And this one can go about here. I'm going to try and see if I can squeeze my poppies in between them. Now if that doesn't work, I'll have to leave those off, but let's have a look. Get my piece of acetate and see if I can fit my poppies in here. I think so. Which way do they go around? That way around. They can go there. Yeah, that's fine. So put that there to remind me. And move that way. And there they go. Right, so that's all the big flowers. Now we can do some of the smaller ones. Actually, first of all, I'm going to do a bit of grass, I think, while I've still got the black out. I'm just going to do a few bits here and there. A bit up there. Enough for now. And the silhouette flowers, I'm going to do those in Fantasia. Not worried about doing the bottom because the bottom bit won't actually go on. It's just the flowers I want. No, that one didn't come out. Let's see if I can carefully go over that one. Let's get the bottom bit. There we go. Right, now I can take the tape off. Comes off really easily. I have a lovely border. So now the first thing I'm going to do, because it takes a while to dry, is I'm going to paint my poppies red using a red Posca pen. I'm using the mermaid tail first. Now I'm using the lavender for the wildflower. And now I'm ready to stamp Art from the Heart. And I'm going to stamp that in black, in Nocturne. If you don't have this sentiment, or if you don't have some of those flowers, you can make an equally good picture with different sentiment and different flowers. You don't need to have what I have. Oops, I'm going to do that upside down because I don't want to get the glitter on my fingers. Perhaps I should have done that first. Oh, I'm going to put that there. And the last thing is to do the white gel pen on the flowers. So I'm going to put some white gel pen on the blue Nigella flowers and also on this one. And then I'm going to do some on the poppies. Whoops, a little bit in the poppy seeds. There we go. Now I can't put this in a frame yet because it's obviously with the glitter I have to wait for everything to dry, but it would fit nicely in a frame. It would equally go nicely in your journal. You could put it in a journal page. You can make a card. It's quite a pretty floral meadow. I hope you enjoyed watching that and you found it useful. And before you go, would you please consider joining our 2 Facebook groups? We have Del Bello's Designs Lounge for all products Lavinia, and we also have Del Bello's a la carte lounge for all of the other products Patty sells, including Sweet Poppy stencils, cardio cards, and Nelly, and some other Nelly's Meadow and some other companies. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.